The 2025 NBA trade deadline will go down as the most shocking in history. Blockbuster trades, unexpected moves, and outright chaos. This was a deadline that changed the NBA landscape overnight. From Luka Doncic landing in LA to the Warriors making a high-risk, high-reward play for Jimmy Butler, we have a lot to break down. Today, we're sorting through the winners, the losers, and the moves that just don't make any sense. So let's dive right in.
I was shocked.
Everyone else?
Like I said, I didn't know. I was actually at home about to watch a movie with my wife and got the phone call. So,
everybody was surprised, so you can imagine how surprised I was. I was almost asleep, so when I got a call, I had to check it was April 1st. I didn't really believe it at first, and it was a bit shock. It was hard moments for me. It was home.
Let's start with one of the bigger winners, the Golden State Warriors. The Jimmy Butler trade is a gamble for sure, but one that could pay off in a massive way. Golden State didn't have to mortgage its future, keeping young talents like Jonathan Kuminga and Pods, while adding a battle-tested star in Butler. He fits Steve Kerr's system, he screens, cuts, and defends at an elite level. Most importantly, Butler gives Steph Curry the best co-star he's had since Kevin Durant. Now, I know what you're thinking. How will Butler and Draymond Green coexist? These are two strong personalities who demand accountability from teammates and aren't afraid of confrontation. Will it work, or will we see fireworks in the locker room? That's the biggest question to take away. But at the end of the day, this move signals that the Warriors aren't going to sit on their hands and they want to stay competitive, which is massively important for Steph Curry's window. If they have a good offseason, the Warriors could be right back in contention next season. Now, on the flip side, let's talk about a team that completely dropped the ball, and that's the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix came into the deadline needing to make a big move. Instead, they did basically nothing. The Suns reportedly had deals in place to move Kevin Durant to Miami or Golden State and had big plans for what they could do with Bradley Beal's no trade clause, but nothing happened. That's actually a disaster given the Suns' season. If KD walks in free agency, the Suns will be left with nothing but regret when his contract runs out. They're also paying a fortune in luxury tax, yet they sit at 25 and 25, barely clinging onto a play-in spot. They didn't use the best trade asset, their 2031 first-round pick, to get help. Instead, they shuffled role players around in cap-saving moves that didn't help them win now. Matt Ishbia is trying to cut costs, but at what cost to their championship aspirations when you have Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal on your roster? Another big winner, the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavs were already leading the league in offensive efficiency, but adding DeAndre Hunter makes them even more dangerous. Hunter is a big wing who can shoot and defend, and who can help in a potential matchup against Boston's Jason Tatum or Milwaukee's Giannis Antetokounmpo. The best part, Cleveland didn't give up any major assets, just second-round picks and swaps. With Hunter's contract locked in, they've secured a valuable piece for their title push. Now let's talk about the Dallas Mavericks. And let me be blunt, this is one of the worst trade deadlines in recent memory for any team. Dallas made a series of head-scratching moves. They gave up Quentin Grimes for Caleb Martin, a downgrade in almost every way depending how you look at it. And while they were expected to land a big-name co-star for Luka Doncic, they ended up dealing him. It still doesn't feel real for whoever you ask around league circles, and it's one of the worst decisions we have ever seen at the NBA trade deadline. Now let's get to the biggest story of the deadline, the Los Angeles Lakers. Luka Doncic in a Lakers jersey. As I mentioned, it still doesn't feel real. The Lakers just pulled off what might go down as the biggest trade in NBA history. They went all in, trading Anthony Davis and future pick to get Luka. And while the roster is still taking shape, in the buyout market especially, one thing is clear. The Lakers now have a generational superstar to build around for the next decade. Their other move was equally important in a lot of ways, trading for Mark Williams. Williams is a young athletic center who complements Luka's game. He's raw, but with the right development, he could be a long-term piece in LA's frontcourt. I really don't get what the Toronto Raptors are doing. They traded for Brandon Ingram, but why? Ingram is a talented player, but he's also a questionable fit next to Scotty Barnes and RJ Barrett, and on top of that, he's an unrestricted free agent this summer. There's a real chance he walks, leaving Toronto with nothing but regrets. This feels like a rush move rather than a well thought out plan. De'Aaron Fox is a massive winner here. He wanted to play with Victor Wembanyama in San Antonio, and guess what? He somehow made it happen. The Spurs didn't give up their core pieces, and now they have one of the best young duos in the entire league. This is a dream scenario for Fox, who now gets to play in a system built around an all-time defensive talent. The Clippers made a few moves, and I actually think they got better. They turned role players like Terrence Mann and Bones Highland into Bogdan Bogdanovic and Drew Eubanks, two players who may not be as talented, but who can make an impact right away. Bogdanovic gives them much needed scoring, and Eubanks provides depth at center. They pulled this off without going into the tax. It's a smart front office, and it seems like they are yet again. The Chris Middleton era is officially over in Milwaukee. The Bucks traded him to the Wizards for Kyle Kuzma, which might be one of the worst moves they could have made. Middleton had been struggling, but Kuzma is not really an upgrade. In fact, he's been one of the least efficient players in the entire league this season. If this move backfires, it could have major implications for Giannis's future, and it's probably something people aren't thinking about. Milwaukee just made a massive bet, and I'm not sure it's going to pay off, given Middleton's experience in the playoffs and how he fits with Giannis and Dame when he's healthy. If we're thinking outside the box, imagine being the NFL and having the Super Bowl coming up, only for nobody to care because the NBA just hijacked all their headlines. This trade deadline was that crazy. Adam Silver wanted parity, and he got it. Today, there are more legitimate contenders than ever, and the league is as unpredictable as it's ever been, which makes great cinema. This trade deadline was wild, the buyout market might be just as crazy, and the implications will be felt for years. Do the Lakers have their next dynasty in Luka? Will the Warriors' Jimmy Butler gamble pay off? And did the Suns just make the mistake of a lifetime by sitting on their hands? Who won, who lost, and which teams made the biggest mistakes? Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more upcoming videos and NBA content. My name is Damian Peters. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.